Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the WGLNA Season 2 Gold League. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left, David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. If you're not watching this on BattleViewer.com, go over there right now and check it out. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you and answer for us the question of the day.
Which is, which tier 10 do you think has the most effective armor? Now, for clarification,
good.
It's not just which has the best armor on paper. It's the most effective at all-around potential meta uses of the word.
Right.
So mobility counts. Gun can deceptively kind of count as a deterrent.
Sure.
Like W100 has terrible armor, but it's effective enough in the fact that I don't want to push on it ever.
Shimbo gave us some good examples of how it's also very situational. So let us know right now who you guys think has the best armor for tier 10. As our third match is about to get underway, we have Googly versus Caller Wanted. On the side of Googly, we have Viral. On the side of Caller Wanted, we've got Blue Mini. Gentlemen, welcome to the face-off. And Viral, going to go ahead and start off with you. Now, the theme tonight obviously has been roster changes. A lot of teams, including yourself, has made them. So my question is, Zone Delta and Urtai are the ones that you guys picked up. Where do they fit into the team?
They're going to be helping doing some shot calling. Previously, how the team was working is I would be trying to basically manage all 7 people on the battlefield, but now they're going to come in and basically now we each kind of get a battle buddy.
Wow.
And we can all work together in like 3 different groups with the tier 8 being sufficient off on their own.
Okay. Well, relieve some stress from you, hopefully.
That'll work a lot better, I promise. Trying to manage 7 people is worse than herding cats. Literally worse.
Worse. Yeah. There you have it. Viral, congratulations.
All right, Viral, which which tier 10 tank do you think has the most effective armor?
I mean, if we're getting to really situational stuff, I would actually have to go with the 263, get it in a nice elevated position.
Ooh, yeah.
You got such like 250 millimeters thick armor plus slowed back at like 60 and 45 degrees. You get it in an elevated spot. It's up over 500 millimeters of effective armor.
Done.
Like
Beautiful.
Nothing's touching it if it's in an elevated position.
All right.
Beautiful.
First time we heard that one tonight.
Great answer.
Thank you, Viral, for that wisdom. Now, Blue Mini, going to go over to you. You guys took Dr. Halo from Googly and also picked up Smiley Rage. How are they going to fit into the team? Where are you guys looking to use them?
We're really just once again looking to get more experience on the team. Halo has done a few seasons with Lamp, and Smiley Rage also played, I think, with Lamp, and he was on before on Primetime before they got DQ'd. So I think just any more extra experience to the team will definitely help us improve.
Sure, absolutely.
So what you're saying is you're slowly learning to love Lamp.
Oh yeah, definitely.
One roster change at a time. All right, which tier 10 tank do you think is the most effective armor?
I definitely have to go with the mouse. I honestly, in my personal opinion, I think it's better than the E100. It has the APCR instead of heat, and its turret armor is a lot stronger. And I'm really surprised that it doesn't get as much play on maps like Himmelsdorf over the E100.
Well, then pick Himmelsdorf and show us how the mouse works.
Yeah, all right.
One day.
I think you're crazy.
Maybe
but that's
today.
fine.
Maybe today. Gentlemen,
yeah, fair enough.
Before we get into the battle, Viral, is there anything like to say to Blue Mini before we get started?
Good luck, have fun.
All right, Blue Mini, your response.
All right, no, good luck, have fun. Let's go.
All right, gentlemen, best of luck to both of you.
Let's go.
And we'll see you, almost said in the danger zone, shortly.
That's not their tagline. That's what
It's
that
not
smug,
mine either.
That smug chuckle from both of them was like, Christian, that's not us.
Hey, that's not us.
So for Googlybobbers,
Rifle.
they brought on Airtie and Zone Delta. And for Caller Wanted, they brought on Smiley Rage and Dr. Halo from Googlybobbers.
Yeah. Ooh.
Go Bobs prefer Himmelsdorf and the 140. Things that don't go together. Viral is now their top scorer. As Zombie Food used to be. I wonder if he's been playing recently. I haven't noticed him as much. It has
Zombie
been quite
Food?
a while. Most of their matches take place on the back half of everything.
Right.
So I think they play every single match day from here on out.
Wow.
For Caller Wanted,
ready
they
to see
prefer
Googly.
Cliff. No surprise there. And the T22, those things go together quite nicely. And Blue Mini, the man you just saw on camera, and their #1 lead scorer. And the guy I just told was crazy.
So we'll see how that comes back. Now, one thing, just kind
I
of...
hope it does. I hope they bring the mouse and they show how amazing it is, because there's no way that it's good on Himmelsdorf in
David
the
wants
current
to
game. There's no way.
David wants to put the money where your mouth is, Blue Mini.
I really do.
Let's
really do.
Let's see Himmelsdorf. Well, I want to talk about the transition of Dr. Halo going from Caller Wanted and going into. Are we still
No, ask the question.
crafting it? Okay.
I'm thinking about that while listening to you.
That's fun.
I multitask.
Dr. Halo going from Googlybobbers going to Color Wanted. I mean, it's like, oh, treason. Like he's going from one team to the other. All the trade seekers are going. Does that happen pretty often, relatively, when there are roster changes? Do teams go from one to the other within the same league?
Hard to say, really. It happens, but it's not often, but it's not rare either.
Okay.
It's kind of in between.
Every once in a while, kind of on and off. Well, we'll see if that is a pickup that Color Wanted needed. We'll see if Googlybobbers can continue their victories here. Ladies and gentlemen, starting out on Sand River. Googlybobbers on offense, Color Wanted on defense. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
Googlybobbers with an E5, a Bat Chat, 2 140s, 2 T22s, an RU251. Color Wanted with 2 E5s, a Bat Chat, an STB, 2 T22s, and an M40, M43 by Halo. No surprise there.
Already playing.
He loves that.
Already playing.
He loves that M40, M43.
Before I also get too into this, I meant to say, instead of Googlybobbers continuing their victories, finding their victory. Again, they, I think, picked their first point.
Yes.
So if they was talking about the slump between him and Jay Smooth, like Viral's like, we're in a bigger slump than you guys right now. So let's see if this is the match that they can find their first victory of the season, or will Color Wanted keep them down, keep the man down.
Dr. Review us getting some early lights, enough to see Color Wanted is on the ridge, but that's not particularly useful information because of course they are.
Yeah, so a lot of the defense goes here. Good viewpoints, pretty easy way to kind of cover both caps from this position.
Step by step, Googlybobbers will clear out this western part of the map and then move into the southern part. Once they own diagonally from A1 to K0 or so, they can start trying to pick whatever vector they want to actually assault from. But this is one of the dangerous parts about this map. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of time to move around, and every single place you go has a certain amount of fear to it. You can come up over this dune and find out there's tanks there. It's not a good play to make.
All of a sudden there.
But teams have done crazier things in the past, I promise.
Okay.
Between these two teams, you're a lot less likely to see it. Far more likely to see that kind of thing when somebody plays a team that otherwise looks invincible on a map. Like perhaps, say, if Noble specialized in this and they were doing a great job every time it was played. That's when you see people break out the crazier stuff. Because they realize in a head-to-head they can't win playing it normally. So they try crazier things. But so far, regular expositional moves. People trying to take a map territory here. Color Wanted with a little bit of some movement here, some additional stuff. This is actually kind of genius, to be honest. They understand the flow of this map. And Color Wanted and Googlybobbers have both played this map in the past, whereas a lot of other teams have avoided it.
Yep.
Color Wanted knows the timing here. I believe they're the first team that pushed southeast, wrapped back around to the northwest, and came in behind their opponent. Color Wanted knows that's the case, so they moved up to the ridge to bottle everybody in the southeast and force them to fight there. That's going to make this fight nigh unwinnable for Googlybobbers unless they're able to escape from it and find some way of doing damage on the side of those E5s, because they're going to be in a very tough position. And now that Delph has taken D2, you can see this is getting worse and worse and worse for Googlybobbers. Take an overhead look here and see if we can see any real outs. Can check Zombie Food, see if he's got anything. Airtie gets lit up for quite a bit.
Ooh. That came out pretty sure. I think that was
side.
Dr. Halo who picked that one up. Not quite sure. We can confirm that later.
Zombie Food versus Delph. Delph in the infamous T22. And that is a positive trade for Delph, who has lost 422 and doing roughly 600 to Zombie Food for Zombie Food's entire clip. So whether Delph is able to hold that position for the rest of the game or not is irrelevant. The fact is he managed to waste a lot of time in Zombie Food's clip, and Viral now getting lit up. Just so much damage coming out onto Googlybobbers as they're trying to break free of this movement that Color Wanted has done. Color Wanted knowing they've got positive trades here. They can take damage on these tanks, but they're going to do more in return as Smiley Rage and Tuxzilla now go head-to-head.
Smiley Rage picking up that kill, and that is going to be the first tank down for the battle on the side of Googlybobbers, and it's not looking good for the rest either. Viral just barely holding on there, and Dr. Halo picks him up with the M40, M43, a nice artillery shot there. And there's going to be two tanks now falling for the attacking team. Urtai not in a good position himself. Zone Delta taking 373 there in that E5, and Caller Wanted just having complete control.
Look at this. I love what Delta's doing right now. He is a tad bit exposed, but it doesn't matter. If they go over here and try and do damage to him, they're going to take damage in return. He's on the right side of the dune for that to happen. He can be supported by his E5s.
Interesting.
And he's baiting Zombie Food to try and get him. Plus, he's keeping the pressure on and eating up every second of map control.
And doing damage.
And using the dunes in a way that makes Zombie Food almost helpless in a way to try and penetrate him. So Delth taking a little bit more damage from 7 Tesla. That's actually a risk, but he can win this with a little bit of support from the E5s as he is getting 333, 665 there from the middle, as Delth is now looking in a position where he could take it off. Zombie Food's going to try and get those additional shots to help him win this, but no matter what happens here, Googlybobbers have paid too much. Delth right now is showing the keys of what the key elements of what it takes to be a fantastic scout. Even though he's not necessarily in a scouting tank, he's performing the scouting role. And I can't help but get fired up when I see that kind of play. That's the right amount of aggression at the right amount of time with the right map awareness of everything that's going on. Beautiful play from Delth in that game right there.
What I love about that too is just looking at him, like you said, baiting I think 7 Tesla and Zombie Food out by having his turret, first of all, not even facing them. And I totally see that in games, and I see this guy, I was like, oh, his turret's totally the wrong way. Like, I can pop out and take a shot. And then you do, and his team's all there to back you up. So it's brilliant, working out amazingly. Again, Caller Wanted still having all 7 members up. Delth, don't go down here. Smiley Rage picks him up. And that's going to be a perfect and an ace coming out for Caller Wanted against Googlybobbers, picking up their first victory of the night. Like you said, just good timing, knowing the timing of that map, and executing it flawlessly, it seemed like.
There is a lot to talk about what we just saw. So let's get the rest of things to talk about, like the numbers, out of the way.
All right, let's do it. Nice.
For Googlybobbers, not much. There you have it, everybody below 1,500. Let's move on. Smiley Rage in the STB, 31-23 and 3 kills. Aggressor, 22-34. Magenta Panda, 18-39. Dr. Halo, 18-26 with 2 hits, well, technically 3 in the M40, M43, making it work.
Yeah.
Bottling the enemy team into places where he can fire, and thus making it a good tank to bring.
Brilliant.
Not that it's bad on Sand River anyway. Sand River's a notorious artillery map. And everybody else, I mean, Delth didn't get a whole lot here. In fact, he only blocked 630 and apparently shot an ally, which I don't, it must have happened there at the end, because I don't see when that would have happened otherwise. Well, man, so every little thing there, taking up the map control. The middle of Sand River is super important because you own the rest, but it's not safe.
Right.
Caller Wanted took advantage of timing there. This is the #1 thing that I feel is lacking in WGLNA. Timing strategies, where you look at where people are going, and you know that's going to take them 55 seconds. It's going to take me 35 to get here. I'll probably lose 400, 500 health in the process. But once I get here, they're locked. They can't move anywhere else without bleeding HP the whole time. I'm going to kill a lot of time if they want to take the safe route. So perhaps you don't actually lock them into a place, but you make it to where the safe route takes them like 4 minutes to get around you. And they're bottled up in a place where Dr. Halo can now just drop bombs on them, because they can't move. And when they want to poke, and they want to play those games in the safe area, think about it. It's a flat area with hills.
Yeah.
They're going to be on the hill.
Done.
You're going to catch an M40, M43 shot in the face.
In the face.
205 millimeters of pain.
Caller Wanted showing it how it's done on Sand River. Let's see if we can see more of these timing strategies, or if Googlybobbers have some of their own. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
Googlybobbers with 2215s, a bat shat, an STB, a T22, a TVP, an RU251. Caller Wanted with 2 E5s, a bat shat, an STB, 2 T22s, and an M40, M43 again.
On offense.
Super excited to see if Caller Wanted has as airtight of an understanding of Sand River as they did on defense.
Yeah. Obviously, bringing the M40, M43 suggests yes.
Maybe. It certainly allows some more options. If anybody wants to hole up in the D7 area, they can get absolutely ruined. Dr. Halo's going to take it into the southwest, roughly J1, J2, pretty commonplace. And that can reach across the map and do some bad things to people, but its shot takes a very long time to get there at that point. And that is where it gets a little bit harder to really work with.
Right now, Delth and Magenta Panda, the T22 is being very aggressive here.
Look at that, locking everybody up. They can't come on this side of the dune.
Wow.
Because of everybody else that's in the middle. An E5, an STB, Fixer Reloaded's there in his E5. A lot of these people are just in positions that are just good enough to prevent anybody from coming up and over on these two tanks. And again, Caller wanted, seizing essentially the middle of the map on Sand River.
Again.
And
Yeah.
forcing Googlybobbers into where they want them
That's
to go.
insane.
Probably even better than where they expected them to go, because Googlybobbers probably should have fallen back into the northeast. But they fell back mostly into the east, which leaves the 2-cap wide open.
Wow.
If Caller wanted makes a simple adjustment and puts people on cap, it's game over right then and there.
Caller wanted again, showing an amazing study, plan, and execution right now of Sand River against Googlybobbers. It's not over for Googlybobbers yet. Again, Viral taking some damage there. Blue Main taking some as well. Aggressor, 244 in that bat chat. Now, we'll see what kind of Caller Wanted's next step of the plan is here. There you guys go. See Aggressor on your screen in that bat chat. Nice job keeping a lot of those members of Googly lit up here. Now, Dr. Halo, easy shot to take right there from where he's at. There's no really, or is that, you know, kind of rock in the way from his position?
Into where
yeah.
Valkyrie and Tux and Zone are,
Yeah.
he won't be able to hit them from there.
Okay.
He could hit Tux right now, and now less so, but still possible.
It's kind of a
So
tricky
it's
chop for
kind
him.
of an angle in through here, but it's. I think that was it right there. Probably just caught right there on the front, maybe. We can kind of swing over here and see if. Nope. Dr. Halo is loaded. It didn't look big enough, to be honest. That probably came from Delph or one of those guys there in the middle. So as that shot comes in over the hill, it has a better chance, if it connects with a tank, to do a lot of damage. Ooh, one shot out all the way
wow!
around the corner onto Valkyrie View Us. Clearly, Dr. Halo was waiting right there, expecting that to be the only angle. Now that I think about it, that makes a lot of sense. It's the only angle in which people could really reliably attack Aggressor.
Huh.
So he's just battle buddying it up
And right now
from
over
a very
here
long distance.
on the northern cap,
Oh,
Googlybobbers,
Aggressor.
Viral, and Urtai going head against Fix Reload, Delth, and Magenta Panda, 308, and also on the other side, Aggressor still lighting up in the bat chat. Urtai taking more and more damage. Aggressor takes down Valkyrie View Us in the RU-251, and is going to maybe get out of there. Let's see if he can run in time.
Tuxilla should have him.
Takes a shot, 314 going into him. Urtai takes on Fix Reloaded. Zombie Food has come to join the fight, and this actually might be a turnaround for Googlybobbers against Caller Wanted here. Magenta Panda having to be careful on T22. They might be able to take down Dr. Halo. What a shot there from the artillery, taking down Viral, and now evening up the fight going over the northern cap. Zone Delta does take down Aggressor, though, and now Zombie Food being very aggressive to try to bait the shots here from Delta. Magenta Panda keeping Urtai alive, keeping their attention fixed upon him. He has 3 shots now left. Now 2. He takes down Zombie Food, Magenta Panda. One more shot there going into Delph. Urtai taking a shot there. Delph looking around the side. Smiley Rays takes down Zombie Food as he pops out. 7 Tesla, though, takes down Blue Mini. And Googlybobbers are up now. It is even as Delph takes down Urtai. 3-3 here. HP very close, just barely in favor of Caller Wanted. We've got a little battle here going on between Smiley Rage.
That rock that Smiley Rage has is pretty much the perfect formation for him to be able to fire over there. Zone Delta starting to get a couple shots in there. He
wow,
probably
one
will
more.
take down Smiley Rage
Bouncing!
any second now. One
Smiley
more
Rage,
shot, and he's got it.
Zone
If he had
Delta.
bounced that one.
That would have
Smiley
been
Rage would
over
kill
there.
him.
Absolutely there. But Zone Delta does pick up that kill and gets out of there. Oh, barely gets out of there. He's just dodging a shot from Dr. Halo. And now this is where the artillery kind of is a problem.
I think he's carried his weight this match.
Sure,
To be honest.
sure.
A lot of other
Oh,
positional
sure.
small errors that added up there to decompose all of that. And a great counter push in the northern area by Googlybobbers in a sense. They ended up losing it. So it was really, a lot of it comes down to Aggressor there in the south, probably overplayed just a tad, opening him up and letting himself go down, which gave Googlybobbers the lack of containment they needed. They were able to break that bubble they were forced into.
Gotcha.
And Caller Wanted also not necessarily using the cap as well as they could have. There's a number of reasons why that is, why they have reason to suspect that cap won't be reliable. But from our God's eye view, with the omniscience, it looks super easy to take.
All right, here now Delph spotting out 7 Tesla and Tuxilla takes one shot into him. Dr. Halo lets a shot go. Let's see if he's going to hit him.
Oh.
He hits him as well. Dr. Halo, shot after shot, definitely on point here. Now it's Delph versus Tuxilla in a 1v1. A bounce here for either team could cause really a fatal misplay. Zone Delta does come back and find Dr. Halo, but this should be Tuxilla's fight any day. Delph showing the side again. David, like you talked about, the kind of trolley part, and there it is. There's a bounce that we were talking about. Delph, though, reload is taking so long here against Tuxilla. That is going to be Tuxilla picking it up. Googlybobbers tying it against Caller Wanted. 1-1 here.
What Delph did there was a fantastic usage of armor. It's So he turned around. The weakest point on his tank, if he can get at that angle, is the front, because the rear at that point is it's flat, so it's very extremely angled. Whereas if he had been turned around, that pike is now flat too.
Right. You talked about that
to his
earlier.
opponent. So he turned all the way around, gave him an angled rear side of his T-22,
Took it, bounced
which
it.
is where the T-22's armor is most effective. And you saw a bounce there. That was all he needed. But obviously ammo rack damage or something that caused him to lose that fight overall.
Yeah. But a fantastic play from Googlybobbers, like you said, just kind of being able to break out. Because Color Wanted looked, again, very solid in what they were doing. Again, bunching up Googlybobbers to position, having the artillery there to rack up the damage. Dr. Halo did a fantastic job. I actually kind of want to see what he did. Can we go to stats?
Let's do it.
Let's go to stats.
Let's start off with him. 5 shots, 2 hits, 2 pens, 3 splash. 2,027 and 2 kills. Well, in the lead, however, is Delph with 36-24. Smiley Ridge behind him with 21-93. And Magenta Panda 21-78. Over here for Googlybobbers, Zone Delta. First game, well, I guess second game, but first whole match in this season. 24-27 with his bad chat. 7 Tesla, 2247, and Tuxilla, 2200. Viral, 2000. Zombie Food, 1.8.
Now, I think something, was it Meadowhawk that was talking about the most effective armor is the ones that are like the new tanks that come out that no one knows how to penetrate?
Yep.
So when we look at kind of the situation we're at right now, we're in Season 2 Gold League, you have all the tanks that are known. Generally, not a lot get added. I mean, the Skoda was one of the new ones that was added. Do you think that had like an effective armor? Or was it just not? That
No, the Skoda basically has no armor,
just paper.
so it's not a big deal.
Okay.
Most autoloaders are going to be easy to penetrate.
This is kind of the general rule.
Yeah.
Big gun, weak armor. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all tied up between Googlybobbers and Color Wanted. We've switched sides again. Let's get right back into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
Googlybobbers with an E5, a bad chat, 2 140s, 2 T22s, and an RU-251. Color Wanted with 2 E5s, a bad chat, an STB, 2 T22s, and the M40, M43.
Bringing it back.
The doctor is in his artillery.
All right, we'll see how well he does again. Dr. Halo been doing a fantastic job being in here. Really, we didn't really see him play on Googly much.
Nope.
So
For one reason or another. Now he's on Color Wanted.
Finding his position here.
Could speculate on things, but we won't.
No. Be a waste of time. Complete waste of time. Aggressor. Again, the defense for Color Wanted. Let's see if what they did last time with Googlybobbers can't happen again. If you were Googlybobbers and that happened to you the first time, do you think you have enough time to be like, okay, guys, they caught us in this rotation that we were going to do. Let's not do that, or is that too much weight to put onto one single? Try to catch out one of the members of Color.
So essentially what you're asking is, did they have enough time to prepare to prevent those E5s from doing what they did last time?
Yeah.
Yes, they did. And
Wow. Dr. Halo taking a shot in a Valkyrie
that
Buas.
was a very unlikely shot, is what I would say. A very unlikely shot. We'll take a look at it. It just should not. That's the M40, M43, I say, with so much salt, as it landed right here on the downslope of a hill. Well, he was more that way. So it came up and over and into there on the downslope, and Foster was like down here and took damage. Just, please. Please.
Oh,
But
Valkyrie.
what you were asking is the Googlybobbers are over here, and they're able to fire into that middle, and they left a number of mediums to guarantee they could not lose that terrain again. They're trying to bait it out, in fact, by sending tanks that are spotted in the south. Delph was spotted, took a little bit of damage,
Not a lot more.
and the trap was sprung, so now he knows it's not safe, and those E5s will not cross that opening again. Aggressor, however, is wide in the open to a certain extent. But he's not spotted,
which is great, yeah.
so he is relatively safe. So you can't shoot, well, you can.
Yeah, you can't shoot.
It's unlikely to shoot what you cannot see, especially when it's moving. But I guess it is theoretically possible.
To shoot what you can't see, definitely in this game. Zombie Food now spotting on Aggressor, so he is now spotted. So now it's easy to shoot what you can see. We'll see if Googlybobbers can kind of capitalize on that. Zombie Food now going down to the little the dip there. Taking a shot from Dr. Halo again. 491 in that artillery. A nice pick on the E5. Now, that's actually going to cause Aggressor to be aggressive here and know that he can take this one-on-one against this E5. That's one shot going to him. Zombie Food going head-to-head. 380 going back and forth. But Aggressor only has 2 more shots left. Let's see. No, one of them tracking, not doing damage. And Aggressor won't be able to take down Zombie Food here unless Dr. Halo can help him out. The second shot going right on the top, hitting Urtai there at the
How is he
140.
bouncing this? That shouldn't be happening at all. He bounced 2 shots. Should not be alive. Viral misses the last one. Could have killed him. Urtai gets 1 follow-up, but Zombie Food's going to step all the way up and guarantee that Aggressor does not escape him for too long there. Definitely overplayed by Aggressor. No ifs or buts about it.
Very
He's trying to get some nice shots. Once you realize the best shot you got on an E5 is the hatch, it's time to go.
All right.
Unless you can't. And then it's
Then
time
it's
to
just
shoot
time
the
to
hatch. But in a bat shot, in that situation, it's time to go. But Caller
Urtai.
wanted. Only down by 200 right now.
Yeah.
And Urtai is only 1 shot away, or just a very delicate splash from the
Dr.
M40
Halo.
and 43. Valkyrie's almost dead as well. So you could say that this is arguably net positive for Caller Wanted at the moment.
Okay.
But only time will tell. Zone Delta's in a very uncomfortable position. And Googlybobbers are starting to find those angles they need. Magenta Panda is now under a lot of fire as he's going to get unloaded into by Zone Delta, who's going to get pushed back by Fixer Reloaded. And he needs the rest of his team to come in here and make this play work.
4-9 going to him. Zone Delta, though, taking some damage as well in the bat chat. 1 shot just missing there from Magenta, but Fixer Reload looks like he might be able to get that one as well. Let's see if Dr. Halo, who does have a shot ready and waiting, let's see where he takes it. Valkyrie Vios, meanwhile, is going to start applying some cap pressure down in the south in that RU-251. And the battle kind of over on the north side, starting to not really diffuse, but definitely backing off both of the teams. Viral going head-to-head now against Smiley Rage, backed by Urtai, taking some damage. Going to run in and go ahead and ram him. 323 going to Smiley Rage. 1 more shot, and he will be going down. Smiley trying to shoot Urtai. His shot misses, and he's going to be going down to Viral there. Such a tragic miss from him, and now Urtai is going to live again. He is, though, lit up for Dr. Halo. Dr. Halo, though, is on the reload, so I'm not sure where that shot went. 68 seconds on the clock for the cap pressure for Googlybobbers. Valkyrie still doing that one on the battle over on the north. Now starting to pick back up again. Tuxzilla taking some shots there. Fixer Loaded taking some shots. Dr. Halo on the reload. Really good. Caller Wanted looks like they're just trying to stall out some time here. They're going to need someone to spot Valkyrie, unless Doctor can just... I mean, what David, M40, M43, can it just shoot the... an area in the cap and get a splash? Delph, 1 more shot. He'll be going down here. Let's see where that comes from. Dr. Halo taking the shot. Not sure if it connected to anything here. Blue Mini finds Viral. So a nice pickup there from Caller Wanted. Now 6 tanks on the side of Googlybobbers. 5 for Caller Wanted. 33 seconds on the clock. If Googlybobbers chooses to put a very, just bring some of their members back to Valkyrie, they might be able to cap fast here. Blue Mini being sent to try to spot him out. I'm not sure he'll be able to make it over there in time. In that E5, driving a little bit slow. Urtai coming around to take the shot. 20 seconds on the clock. Valkyrie Vios has all the points. 1 reset from him, and he'll be going down. Blue Mini, will he make it around the corner in time as Tuxzilla takes down Delph? Blue Mini is spotted out, dodges the shot from Zombie Food here, but Urtai should be able to pick him up. His shot missing. And Magenta Panda does take on Tuxzilla. Zone Delta finds Magenta Panda. 4 seconds on the cap, though. Dr. Halo does not have a shot. Urtai takes down Blue Mini, and it looks like Googlybobbers is going to successfully attack against Caller Wanted here. The cap pressure goes to 0, and that is going to be Googlybobbers with their second now victory of the night against Caller Wanted. Again, Googlybobbers is up now 2-1 against Caller Wanted. Dave, let's kind of talk about what happened there at the end. Obviously, the cap pressure just wasn't something that Caller Wanted was expecting to deal with. Was that what you would say? They just didn't have tanks over in that area to get the proper scouts. Dr. Halo had to take a shot. I think he blind fired the cap and just didn't quite hit it.
I would say something different, in fact. I would say that round was very indicative of what Viral is telling us. That he is no longer the sole caller for everybody. They've split it up into a variety of units, and those units can work independently but cohesively. And I feel like perhaps that's not true with Caller Wanted. They've got some incredible player skill, but somebody was making some very large-scale decisions that was drawing tanks from one flank or the other that didn't need to be. In that position, essentially what had to happen was everybody just had to play their positions and not cross support and win all their individual fights.
Gotcha.
And it's rare to be able to put your opponent in that position. Let's go to the stats really quickly, and then we can perhaps talk about that a little bit more. Fixer Reloaded, 2844 in his E5. Baby Halo, Dr. Halo, 2048, 5 splashes for 2,000.
Wow. Insane. Insane.
Smiley Rage with 2,000 in his STB.
Solid.
And over here, Zombie Food, 2374 in his E5. Viral, 2300 in his T22. Airtie, 2253. Zone Delta, 1953. Actually, there's one thing I wanted to check here. Hello.
Well, all right.
2380 blocked by Magenta Panda.
All right,
I don't think anybody else had anything close to that in that
The
round.
mark on my
He
papers
was
for
the
that.
guy. He was the medium that was caught on the backside of a dune. There were 3 tanks that could have killed him, and nobody was really willing to jump up and over and finish him off. And a Bat Chat unloaded a number of shots. I think it was Zone Delta, some of which penned, some of which didn't.
Bounce.
A lot of bouncing going on there. He was able to pick up a kill that he probably shouldn't have been able to pick up there at the end. Magenta Panda bouncing so much. That wasn't T22. That was an Object 907.
What was?
Yeah, he just played it really well.
I got to
Delph actually bounced. I don't think he bounced a whole lot, but he did put himself in positions that were nigh impossible to shoot several times. Both of those two, Magenta Panda and Delph, played that corner, or that side, and they played it fantastically.
All right, well, fantastic job from them. Googlybobbers now up 2-1 against Color Wanted. Can Color Wanted come back and tie it up before we leave Sand River? Can Googly make it 3-1? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
Googlybobbers with 2215s, a Bat Chat, an STB, a T22, a TVP, and an RU-251. Color Wanted with 2 E5s, a Bat Chat, an STB, a T22, and the M40, M43.
This is like a staple for Color Wanted, bringing that artillery here on Sand River.
Staple for Dr. Halo. Trying to pry that tank out of his hands is
It's
nearly impossible.
No. He's good at it. Man, he's good at it.
He's good at it. He's also incredibly lucky with it. I'm not saying that based off of what we've seen.
Sure.
I'm saying that because I've played companies and stuff with him, and he will just turn and fire and hit stuff, and that shouldn't happen. I know what the bloom looks like on that reticle. He just gets it. It's just not fair. It's not fair.
Salt. Perma Blue taking a little bit of damage there. Again, Color wants to do the same thing. Bring those 2 T22s up to the north. Just try to pressure Googlybobbers to get into a position where they can start bottling them up and making use of that artillery. Well, it didn't work out last time. Let's see if it works out this time. Zombie Food taking 379 on the run. 51 now, 290. Another shot. Where are those shots coming from? Oh, that's Perma here. Pushed up on that T22, taking another shot in a 7. Tesla, 1500. Dr. Halo takes out 7 before he can join the rest of his team. Man, Dr. Halo, artillery of the night so far. Doing it right.
Where did that even happen? Oh, okay.
He's trying to join this team. And
Did we catch that on screen?
Oh, yeah. I got it.
Beautiful.
Oh, I got it.
Right here. That shot, I mean, once we've talked about it before, once you get the kind of a read on momentum, you can lead. It's still a very difficult shot to hit. One of the hardest, in fact, all the way across the map like that. There was no slow throw, so you had a little bit of an open angle. But Delph going 1v1. Tiny bit here. Valkyrie view us. Valkyrie perhaps being sent to Valhalla right now as Delph gets another clip out. He's going to rotate around and try and buy time so they can protect Halo and prevent any of these mediums from coming in. But Googlybobbers are going to back off because too far, getting shot in the side by DRS would not work out for them, as Delph would very likely be clipped, and that is no longer a winnable fight. But 2 tanks down for Googlybobbers already.
Yeah, a fantastic start so far here on Color Wanted, obviously showing what they intended to have happen the last time they brought these tanks and this lineup on offense here. If they can pick it up, they're going to tie it up 2-2 against Googlybobbers. We'll see what Googlybobbers kind of does to respond here. If you were Googly and you are 2 tanks down here on this map, you're on defense, what do you think you would do right now in this position as a caller? What would you be telling your team?
I am not prepared whatsoever to discuss strategy on this map, as I would just ban it. I wouldn't play it. This and Steps would just go sit in a box and never be touched.
Fair enough.
Along with probably Ghost Town. I don't know, Ghost Town's not that bad. And plus it's a new map, and typically people aren't very good at new maps, so it can kind of become an easy
player
bread
skill
and butter.
kind of thing.
I don't know. What I'm thinking here, though, the reason I don't feel comfortable giving a strategic answer is because the artillery changes everything. As you can see, Googlybobbers is running away from that dune the instant they're getting lit from the backside of there. So this is something that before you even allow this map to be played, you have to think a lot about all of these eventualities to know how to handle them. And I haven't, because I have no need to play this map. And we don't see it played that often, so perhaps they'll sit down and think about some of that a little bit. But
Zone Delta going very aggressive here, just kind of putting his entire tank out on the line to try to bait some shots from Color Wanted. Now the rest of Googly come over the side to take down Fix Reloaded. That is one tank gone, an E5 fallen for Color. If Googlybobbers can find another one, they're going to tie this one up as far as tank goes. HP, though, still in favor of Color Wanted by about 2,000. Purple Blue goes down. Viral picks that one up, and now it is a 5-on-5. Googlybobbers trying to come back here. Dr. Halo is on the reload here. Aggressor now not in a good position. Viral taking a shot, 1,000 points of damage there going on to him. Urtai and Tuxilla have their shots ready. DRS, though, takes down Viral. That is the tank falling for Googly. Urtai, a huge chunk of damage there from behind that T-22. Dr. Halo, not sure if he has a shot up or not, but Urtai does not look like he's going to live for much longer. DRS takes him down here. Tuxilla finds Aggressor. Magenta Panda now going head-to-head against Zombie Food. Zombie Food will take him down there. And now it's DRS finds Tuxilla. 2 tanks for Googly, 3 tanks for Color Wanted. And now Color starting to push up. And now, the way I look at this, obviously the 2 tanks for Color Wanted are, or the 2 tanks that are not the artillery for Color Wanted, are very, very healthy. But if Googlybobbers can find a nice pick here, Dart Halo essentially kind of goes out of the fight, but looks like Color Wanted not going to even allow Googlybobbers to get in that position here. DRS chasing down Zo Delta. He knows where he went. He saw him. Zombie Food going head-to-head against a Bat Chat. He's not going to last for long unless Delph keeps continuing to miss those shots. Delph, just in the nick of time, takes down Zombie Food. DRS finds Zone Delta. Now Color Wanted tying it up now 2-2. That was close.
I was about to praise Delth for how he was handling it. He's like, I know I'm going to take damage, but I'm going to do damage faster, and I'm going to win.
That was close.
But it was close.
That was a little too close for comfort there.
So,
But Color Wanted picking up that victory.
2-2 so far.
Doing a good job as we are now closing out Sand River, getting ready to go into our next map. Before that, David, why don't we just take a stroll through stats?
Let's do it, because Dr. Halo is going to assume his title as #1 artillery in the league so far. Because I don't think we've ever seen an artillery do that much damage in the league. 3293,
so
6 shots,
Holy
2 penetrations, and 5
snap.
splash for 3293. I cry a little bit on the inside just reading that. DRS 2800 in his STB, Aggressor 2100, Delth with 2000, Permablue with 2000.
I can.
Over here for GoBobs, valiant effort by Zombie Food, 3567, Airtie with 2030. Zone Delta with 2,000, 1.4 out of Viral. Great game to watch overall. That artillery.
I'm laughing because I'm just thinking of Dr. Halo, like listening to you, like, oh man, like that guy, he gets lucky and he shouldn't get those shots. And Dr. Halo's like, I get lucky, do I? I get lucky, do I?
Yes. 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 You don't do that amount
You're
without
like,
some
you're,
amount of
you're
luck,
like,
man.
that proves it. That proves it.
I can be very, very good in artillery. And while me and the M40, M43 have a terrible relationship in every possible way, it just never, ever, ever goes at all where I want it to fire when I play it. And it always splashes me for like 800 when I play against it. It just does. However, 261s and a lot of other things, I play just fine. Similar shot trajectories, the tank just hates me.
Sure.
It is, among my team, it is known as the Nemesis.
Ah.
It's just 'cause that's what it is. I get triggered by it.
That's your tilt material.
Yep. So he obviously shot very well. There's a cluster of tanks he could drop some bombs in, and he did that a number of times. But there's also a huge dose of luck in there. There's no way about it.
Sure.
Not to hate, because it's a great game no matter what, and you got it. I mean, like Ox Mathos last season with the M44. A lot of that, well, maybe not a lot of it. There's a solid part of it that's luck.
That was just luck.
Don't get me
Dropping
wrong.
the shots.
I can see his replays sometimes, and it's a good enough click, and it makes body contact, and we're just like, wow, what an amazing shot. It's like, no, he got kind of lucky in that shot. But
Artillery like
you have to have skill to afford yourself the opportunity for your luck to help.
I like that.
So
I like that.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating.
Artillery.
You just need both to put up numbers like that.
Artillery. It's a skillful lottery. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to Muravanka. It is all tied up 2-2. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
That's why I like the 261. It's just accurate.
You're like, this is no luck.
If you miss,
This
you're
is
like, that's
skill.
my fault.
My bad.
Googlybobbers with 2 E5s, a 140, an SCB, 2 T22s, an AMX 1390, Color 1 with an E100, 215, Batchat, 2 T22s, a T62A, and an AMX 1390.
All right, so now a map Mervanka, would that be an artillery map, would you think? Yes? No?
It can be.
Okay. I just feel like the size of
Not
it,
as much as Sand River.
allowing some, I mean, obviously you got to protect your artillery, but seeing some of the scouting runs that these guys do, they get so far back into the the enemy's spawn that if you bring on artillery, I could just see why that'd be really scary to bring.
The problem with artillery on this map is a couple things. One, there's a lot of bushes and a lot of paths where a wily scout can get around behind your team, behind all of the reasonable places that you'd be watching, and kill your artillery.
Scary.
Virtually undetected if he takes the right routes. Two, it's hard to spot people in general on this map, so you can't really light them. And those who you can light, the angles are crazy. Like, look at zombie food right here. So that's an easy shot all day, in fact. You get down here, however, and this starts to be a lot worse to reach up and over and hit with an artillery shot.
Yeah.
Now, there are some, but you also have to understand that while there are artillery that exists that can hit that kind of stuff, you also have to take into account, are they worth that many points? How long does it take to reload? We only have 7 minutes. How long is the shot going to be in the air? Typically, shots that have higher arcs take a lot longer to get there, like the Conqueror GC. Basically orbital.
Right, comes from straight down.
But if the guy wiggles around a lot, you're just rolling the dice. And that's before any game calculation of RNG. You're rolling the dice because you're like, I think he's going to be here in 7 seconds or however long it takes that thing to land.
Wow.
A while. It depends on distance, obviously. I think it's like 2.2 seconds, something like that.
Crazy.
It's a long
It's a long time.
Yeah. Think about that. One,
Instead of
two.
clicking and taking
If
a
he's
shot.
driving back and forth, you're lucky if that hits.
Smiley Rage and Permablue both being spotted out here. Perma looks like he was trying to go for something a little sneaky, getting up in the bush. Not working out. Valkyrie US doing a great job spotting him. Now, this is the kind of talk we talked about with these tanks. Know they're spotted, and now it's kind of the deduction of like, all right, where is the tank that is spotting me? And we'll see if they can find Valkyrie in that 1390. He is just steadily holding his ground. Permablue taking another shot. Nothing penetrating, though. A lot of shots actually connecting on a Smiley and Permablue.
Oh.
Not a lot connecting.
Aggressor getting lit up by 7 Tesla and Zone Delta as they spot him to the north. They are going to get some shots off on him. I don't think their DPM is going to be enough to take him down, but we will find out any second now here as he drives away into one of those many little divots that are now on these maps.
Now.
And he's just got full protection as he drives away. That is some great planning on his part. I guarantee you he knew that was there before he went there. As some of the most important parts about playing
Studying the map.
vulnerable tanks is to have an escape route at all times. That's pretty much what scouting's about. Have an approach vector and an escape route at all times.
Makes sense. You get in, do your scouting, get out.
If you don't know how you're going to get out, your scout better be worth your life. That's simple. Ooh.
Fix reloaded now, getting, looks like 2v1 here by 7 Tesla and Zone Delta. And the E100, now he's being lit up by all sides. Viral joined the fight as well. 1,000 points going into that E100. And now here comes the response from Caller Wanted on to 7 Tesla and Zone Delta. Fix reload, doing a shot, 766 there into 7 Tesla. Ooh, a low roll coming out from her, but Zone Delta picks him up there. Fix reloaded going down. The first tank of the game on the side of Caller Wanted. 7 Tesla, though, might be paying for it with her life. She is on the run. Aggressor picks her up there. And that is a 1-for-1 exchange, an STB1 for an E100. Meanwhile, Delth in the T22 has been applying cap pressure this entire time. Zone Delta has to be careful. Just barely dodged the shot there. Going to get behind some cover. Now Valkyrie of UOS being very aggressive here. He has now left his scouting putt. Obviously, all the Caller Wanted members know where he was, but he was doing it to get the reset on the cap, which he did, but he did pay for it with his life here. And now I feel like Delth might just be able to wait till he's reset. Magenta Panda does find Zone Delta finally. But now Delth looks like he just can reset this, go back on top of cap, and start it all over again. Caller Wanted looking good to find this victory here. Zombie Food now lit up and getting lit up. 799 in that E5 from the center from all sides. Permablue, Dr. Halo, Delth all trying to join the fight here. We'll see if he stays alive for much longer as Tuxil and Viral starting to rotate around to try to help him out. Meanwhile, the lone T22 driven by Urtai starting to join the fight. So he took a shot there onto Perma. Man, what a battle. Aggressor!
Oh, Aggressor's having a great game so far, finding all sorts of angles, being the trolley tank from behind. We've talked about a Bat Chat being a proper scout. This is way more than that. This is a scout on steroids. He's getting vision. He's getting so much damage in behind people. Now he's going to close in and try to dump his clip on Viral and hope the rest of his team can save him from Tuxil.
Man, if you guys picked Aggressor for fantasy, you are having a good night tonight. One more shot. Let's see if he can do it. All right, let's go there on a Tuxil. 7:53 there coming in from behind and just tucks Zilla. Once he goes down, it'll just be Urtai alive. T22 bouncing some shots here. Let's see, can he get around the corner? Aggressor doing a great job, just making him dance, work for it. Dale takes down Tuxil. Smiley finds Urtai, and Color Wanted picking up now their third victory of the night. The first battle onto Muravanka. Oh, that was
Great game from Aggressor.
That was like
Great game.
last time being very aggressive, not working out for him. This time being very aggressive and it working out for him. And it seems like that is, it's like, where do you have that controlled aggression, right? Because everyone can be aggressive, and yeah, it's an amazing strat.
And that's the thing. When he started getting motion in, there were two mediums in the center of the town that were alive, and one was two-shot and one was borderline full health.
Huh.
This is an uncomfortable situation for a lot of people. He saw in the future, essentially. So he saw that, actually, I think one was roughly half and one was full. He saw that those tanks were going to lose more HP by the time he got in with his clip, and where to go to dump that clip and probably get 2 kills or close enough to
And then stay alive.
So it's the expectation. It's not just what I see right now, but it's what I should see here in a second.
Aggressor
And sometimes
can
that's as simple as looking at the minimap and seeing that other people have angles. Sometimes that's seeing somebody take damage and going, well, he's probably going to take more. I'm moving in. Let's go to the statistics while we can.
Man, how do you
Show
fight
off
against
aggressors.
someone who can see into the future?
Good game. You can read minds? No, Toma, it's a very serious disease. Aggressor with 2748 in his bat chat. Perma Blue 2605 in his T22. Delth with 2340 in his T22. Magenta Panda 2226 in his 215. Let's see who wins the armor.
Hey, who won that one?
Nope, not a whole lot of armor bounce, or a whole lot of armor usage, I should say, in these matches recently.
Oh.
Zombie Food bouncing quite a bit in his E5.
E5.
Not enough to stay alive. 2030 in the T22 from Airtie. There you go.
T22.
22 as usual.
There it is.
Killing it tonight.
So
And
11,
Viral
12
23.99
now?
for his team.
It's 11 or 12 now. Now, looking kind of like the overall start of that map, where Color wanted to kind of position himself, where Googlybobbers positioned themselves, was there any one point, the 1390, who was scouting out there for Googlybobbers, staying alive for a great time, lighting up a lot of members from Color, and Color just either didn't know where he was and didn't try to like flesh him out there. Perma Blue, I believe, was one of them in the T22, and they were taking a lot of shots. Luckily, none of them penetrated, because if those started penetrating from Googlybobbers, Color Wanda could have been a totally different situation there. But just some unfortunate bounces coming out from them, and a great pickup for Color Wanted. We are now moving into the next battle, switching sides. Color Wanted now on defense, Googlybobbers on offense. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
Googlybobbers with a bat chat, 2 STBs, 2 T22s, a T62A, and an AMX 1390. Caller Wanted with 2 E5s, an STB, 2 T22s, a T62A, and a 1390.
Dr. Halo out of the artillery into the scout. Let's see how he does this time around.
I would say this is definitely not an artillery map on defense.
Hmm.
I generally really don't like artillery on defense.
Okay. Is that one of those things where, let's say you're a team, right, and you are looking at the lineup and you see, oh, Dr. Halo has to be careful here. He is spotted out. He is now on the run, as he only looks like he found Valkyrie. So he only found the enemy scout. That's, I think that's great. I don't think he has any idea that the rest of Googlybobbers is all right behind him. And now he saw Zombie Food. Now he sees Zone Delta. Now he has a better idea. 7 Tesla lit up as well. Okay. Now Color Wanted knows that a lot of these members are here. And Zombie Food taking 648, 972 in that STB1. Got to be careful there. Get out. Googlybobbers, kind of the first time we've seen a team really aggressively go here for the forest.
Yeah, they're trying an eastern flank. A lot of them use it to deposit a tank down the eastern side of the map, cause that 2-cap pressure after fishing people out from the bushes. Caller Wanted is clearly more concerned about stopping that. Last time we saw them play, they actually swept the east side very hard themselves and then moved west and took that ridge along the 3 line.
Huh.
That ridge is in the favor of whoever controls it first,
Okay.
because you have to close that distance.
What is offense closer than defense? Is it pretty even?
Technically, defense is closer to begin with.
Okay.
It's split roughly half and half, but defense is a little bit closer, a little bit more effectively close, given the fact that a good chunk of it can be fired on from the southwest, and defense has no reason to push up in the northwest, or where people can fire from the northwest.
I see.
So you have to take that opportunity while you've got it. But if you can hold that line, especially if you come from defense on the east and you can hold that, you've got a very good position unless Googlybobbers is able to step up onto that ridge and get concave and fire it down into you when you're in that position and make your shots line up. Otherwise, you'll get picked apart from the eastern side as they have a lot of little tricky angles they can get in there. Got to play confidently along that ridge or you will lose.
And that being said, look at this push. Competency, kind of an understatement here, is Caller Wanted being very aggressive on defense now. Permablue being lit up, and it looks like they're just going to try to surround right now Googlybobbers and take them on a head-to-head here. Permablue and Delth going up. Let's see if they hit the brakes on top of the hill or not. The rest of Googlybobbers starting to funnel back to where they spawned from. Dr. Halo being lit up. Permablue going over the side. He takes a lot of damage, though. Not sure he was expecting to see 4 tanks there. Just maybe 1 or 2. 700, now 346 going to that T-22. 333 going to fix reloaded. And the fight has begun. Let's see who will come on top. Will it be Googlybobbers? Will it be Caller Wanted? Urtai takes down Permablue. The first falls for the side of Caller Wanted, but Urtai getting very low himself. Zombie Food takes on Dr. Halo. That is 2 tanks now. And now Smiley Rage takes Viral. The bat chat falling for Googlybobbers. Fixed reloaded will be going down as well. Urtai picking that one up. Aggressor does finally end Urtai's reign of terror in that T-62A. Zone Delta going head-to-head against Smiley Rage. Smiley Rage just going to ignore him and take down 7 Tesla here. Zombie Food backing away, and then SB1, one more shot. He'll be going down. Delth staying alive here, getting another shot there into Tuxzilla, but he does go down to Smiley Rage. Tuxzilla finds Delth. And now it is 3 members for Googlybobbers against the 3 for Caller Wanted, but now just 2. Caller Wanted with such a lead as far as HP-wise. This should be their game. Both Tuxzilla and Zombie Food are 1 shot away. And now Caller Wanted can just push and end it here.
I love the way Caller Wanted plays. Several times on defense, you would think that they were the offense team with how aggressively they've gone. In that instance, Dr. Halo sacrificed himself in the 1390. That may have looked like he had been overcommitted. In my opinion, he knew exactly what he was doing in that situation, which was dump his 6 shots and then just make Googlybobbers deal with them. They took some time to stop and shoot him when
that's a win.
A couple of their teammates were separated and being focused by tier 10s.
Yeah.
I don't care about the 1390 anymore. Maybe auto aim with your right click and left click them while you're driving towards the rest of the fight. But the key is to link up as much as possible. Caller Wanted just did that better.
All right, well, great, fantastic pickup from them. And again, like in that fight, you're a 1390, and if you've gotten your clips out and you know this battle is just going to continue on, basically it's the final battle of the final fight of the battle, then you're like, all right, yeah, I did my damage. If they're shooting me, that's just a win. That's just less damage now onto my tier 10s who are going to continue the fight. Let's take a look at stats. That was a weird way of doing it, but it worked. Don't question it.
Having a lot of fun with the meta of calling for stats at this point.
Yeah, we're still figuring that one out here.
I just absolutely don't want to just say the same thing over and over again. I would lose my mind out of everything. Delth, 2650 in his T22. Magenta Panda, 2613. Smiley Rage, 1961. And Aggressor, 1653. But everybody breaking 1,000 for their team.
Well done.
Actually, let's say
nice
bounce
spread.
near 2,000.
Jeez.
Yeah.
T22s.
Yeah. Sorry to click around all spastically like that. Take a look at how most players actually check their stats. It's like real quick like this, and they just close it.
Like, whoa.
They know what they're looking for immediately. Everybody does. Gotta slow down here. 7 Tesla, 2.3 thousand damage. Zone Delta and Tux and Viral all breaking 1,000 in between like 1 and 1.6, 1.2 and 1.6. But that is it. Googlybobbers not getting great vectors into the fight, getting isolated, getting focus fired. You can see it just there in the tracers. Somebody pokes up a little bit, 3 blue tracers connect with them immediately.
Yeah. And that, we talked about that was a way to win your battles. Now, also kind of want to touch on what you said, loving Caller Wanted, seeing them on defense, swearing that they're on offense. You know, like just pushing across the map, going to places you never see the defense. Yeah, your defense, you have to wait, you have to sit back. It's like there's such a... I mean, talk to me about the benefits of doing that.
Well, you control the tempo. You create morale issues for the enemy team. But number 1 is timing. If you just get these things worked out, you know where they can be based on the timing. You've taken up so much map control. You don't even have to spot them. They have to be here. We've cleared everything else, and it's been 1 minute and 15 seconds. They can only be here. Then you think in your head, okay, well, if they're over here, what positions do they have to take? Then you know which ways to counter. You don't even have to see them.
It's crazy.
There's a lot of advantages to playing super aggressive.
Timing.
There are downsides to it, which I think we have time to talk about. Googlybobbers just took a timeout.
Took a timeout, yep.
So what it comes down to is that these things start to get a bit predictable. I mean, I know this very well. This is a lot of the kind of stuff that we used to do. Play aggressively and control the tempo and force people to deal with obvious strategies. We're going to go here, and you should try and stop us. And then we just have little curveballs. It's like, oh, they tried this. Because we already tried to figure out how to break all of our own strategies, right?
Right.
It's like, okay, well, they're going to try this. We're prepared for that. Rotate these two guys around and win. And unless you're paying very close attention.
It's easy. Simple.
Unless you're paying very close attention, it looks like you just lost shot exchange. The reality is you fell directly into the strategic options. You're now playing our game.
Right. Yeah, controlling tempo.
And we've planned for it.
Controlling tempo, guys.
The problem
super
is
important.
Once people start paying attention to you, it gets real hard to do that real fast.
I'm assuming you learned that as well.
Yes.
All right, now Caller Wanted one more victory away from closing out their night. Googlybobbers, let's see if they can keep it alive. Let's go right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Googlybobbers with two E5s, a Batshat and STB, two T22s, and AMX 1390. Caller Wanted with an E100 and FE215B, Batshat, T22, T62A, and two T54s. To answer your question a little bit more thoroughly, we always knew it was going to happen. We were just trying to keep people scared.
It was the time.
And play mind games with them long enough. They wouldn't realize that.
Sure.
That was kind of the key. It was like, well, we could play really long games. The format was different. It's like we could play really long games where we're not really entirely sure how
they'll turn out.
It'd be a lot of draws, a lot of camping. It's like, well, let's go shock and awe and see how long we can make that last.
I love it. Thank you for doing that.
So the thing with Caller Wanted here is, I'm not even playing anymore. Caller Wanted is once people start to get a number of looks at those strategies, they've got to get real creative with how they throw in twists to those strategies, because now that's the second time we've seen them go east and then flood west.
Okay.
And they've used a lot of the same positions to do it, a lot of the same overlapping defensive layers to do it. So once people put them under a microscope, say you make it into playoffs and people prep directly for you, it doesn't work as well.
Gotcha.
And that is why you don't see teams like Noble or High Voltage
do that.
Playing just completely crazy like that. Completely, it's not crazy, but very aggressively. There are too many variables and it's too much stress on your people, but it depends. I always found that keeping a positive momentum like that, the hunger, essentially, the aggression, and having them be back on their heels was incredibly advantageous for a number of people. It helps people from losing confidence in a moment, especially if they lose tanks. And they become a little bit more comfortable with loss of tanks and of things. They become more resilient.
Because it happens all the time quickly.
Because they play very fast like that. But you smack into a team like what High Voltage was doing earlier today. Just spread defensive camp, a lot of layers to it. You make a single mistake, they start eating you up. That goes the other direction real fast.
All right, here, meanwhile, what we've got going on to Muravanka is Caller Wanted. Aggressor on their side. Put some cap pressure on 26 seconds now. Googlybobbers trying to respond. Valkyrie Vuas is spotted out now and taking a lot of damage in that 1390. See if he'll be going down here. Dr. Halo at T54 takes another shot onto him with 391, and Permablue is going to finish him off. And that is one tank now gone for Googlybobbers. The scout is out of here. Aggressor forced off the cap here. Earthside doing a good job. Taking the shot there, going to reset him. Taking another shot, not quite connecting. Not sure that was a track or not. Ooh, nice dodge there from Aggressor. And now Zone Delta, Zombie Food, and a lot of members from Googlybobbers are continuing to take some HP and shots. Smiley Rays, though, taking a good chunk of damage there on that T62A. Magenta Panda now 330 into him. A little bit of a kind of a reset. Now Googlybobbers actually ahead in HP ever so slightly, but they have forced Caller Wanted off of the cap. So we'll see how they kind of respond to that. Caller Wanted, though, again, keep in mind, did get a tank.
Caller Wanted awkwardly here in the middle on offense, getting stuffed in a couple different places, but not bleeding as many hit points as you would think, as they have quite a bit of a lead, and they have picked up Valkyrie of US already. Starting to pay off for them one step at a time. Perhaps they've spent a lot of time studying all of these angles inside the middle of Muravanka. And it's starting to pay off. Tuxzilla is caught behind some destructible buildings. If it is true that they have prepped quite a bit for this map and done a lot, Magenta Panda and Permablue could start firing down these buildings to unlock some shots towards Tuxzilla. They either don't know he's there or they're not looking for those angles and they want to keep him loaded. Caller One doesn't need to overplay too much here. They're one away from winning this entire match, and they're slowly winning the war of attrition. The longer a battle takes, the more opportunity there is for a mistake for both sides. So while you can soak and wait for your opponent to make that one critical mistake that you capitalize on, they can also do that to you.
Sure.
Which is another one of those advantages, is making things happen
Go,
fast.
go quick.
And to your tempo and to your plan.
The reaction time also just, the causing a team to now not have a long time to think, oh, where are these guys coming in from? Oh, let's shoot him. I mean, that's just got to be chaos for the callers.
It is. You always know. If things get slow, it gets that eerily silent kind of thing. You're like, well, they're coming for us somewhere. Where is that going to be? Now you're so caught up thinking about what they're going to do, you're not thinking about what you should do. And you just lie in wait while they position around, because anybody who plays like that successfully has done a lot of timing work. If we go here and they want to try and counter push Smiley Rage going down to zombie food, where did that even happen?
I don't even know.
Had to have happened.
Hashtag minimap awareness.
Back. There it is. That's kind of what I expected. Is that's kind of a critical tank position. Catching one on the side of the turret, it looks like.
Quick cap.
But we're starting to get a lot faster of a cap, as you said. Fixer reloaded. Starting to block Aggressor, who does have the majority of the points. Trying to make it so if 7 Tesla wants to get this reset, they're going to have to deal with 100.
Wow.
And a 25.
All right, now Aggressor actually now being called off of the cap. He is lit up here. Looks like he just felt like he was going to be in too much of a danger there. 7 Tesla taking some shots and Fix reloaded. One more shot and he'll be going down. Aggressor repositioning there in the back chat, getting one off to Zombie Food. Let's see if it'll be two before he goes back down. No, just one is going to do. He takes 410 himself. Meanwhile, Zone Delta and his bat chat doing work to Permablue. One more shot. He might be able to find it. No, Zone Delta actually does not have enough. Zombie Food takes down Fix reloaded, and Googlybobbers are staying in this fight. They want to try to bring it back here. 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. Caller Wanted needs to do something within these next 2 minutes, or the victory will go over Googlybobbers, and it's going to start by Dr. Halo taking down Urtai there. And now Viral taking 372 from Delth. One more shot. He might be able to find that E5. Let's see if he can. 332, not enough damage. And now Delth not in a good position as 7 Tesla is just going to kind of chase him down here. Not a lot of places to go. He's going to turn and fighter. 342 going to the STB1. 2 shots now, not doing damage from 7 Tesla. This might have actually turned this battle in favor of Delth. 1 minute and 39 seconds on the clock here. Tuxzilla very low. Viral, one shot. Zombie Food, the same story. And here comes Caller Wanted. They're now flanking with Permablue and Dark Halo to join this fight. 7 Tesla might be going down. Aggressor finishes her off there. And Delth is saved. A beautiful pickup by Aggressor in this bat chat. Permablue finds Tuxzilla. 1 minute and 16 seconds on the clock. The only way I can see this going down in the favor of Googlybobbers is if Zone Delta can somehow
But he has
survive.
been spotted. You're exactly right, but he has been spotted somewhat recently. Aggressor is now clipped with enough time. If he can go north, he could get that kill. There is still enough time to cap.
Yep.
And they are going to try and play that gamble and force Zone Delta to come back. If Zone Delta bides his time perfectly. Nope.
He's running.
Still can't do it. There's too many people. Oh, never mind. Aggressor's going to try and block him out from the northern side. That's another way of doing things. If he had put enough people on cap, then all of those people are accumulating points no matter what. So you have to reset
all of them.
At least, well, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Put it that way. But Aggressor's going to get up here. This is another timing thing. They're probably doing it largely by instinct, but he knows Zone Delta has to come back basically directly in order to do anything about this, because he's got to not only get the shots, but the spots. And Aggressor's so confident in this.
Wow.
Hands off
Here
keyboard.
we go.
Oh, here we go.
Now he sees him. He's going to turn the first shot going through. Zone Delta just firing where he can. Permablue actually picking him up right as the clock goes down. And that is going to be Caller Wanted picking up their 5th victory, closing out our 3rd match of the night. One thing I just want to say, like you said, looking at is Caller Wanted, have they studied this map? Have they learned those angles? This is the map that we saw Aggressor get those 3 kills in like 40 seconds before. And this is where we're seeing Aggressor get some more amazing shots in that bat chat.
So either, I mean, they could be playing it a lot in Clan Wars. They could have done a lot of practice and scheduling of or planning on their own, or they could have just played the game a whole lot, and a lot of these timings and everything are intuitive to them. Let's check out the statistics. Well, we can. Which we got a lot of time for that.
Which we can.
But 7 Tesla in the SCB, 3.9 thousand damage.
Man, what?
It's a great tank. Zombie Food, 2020. Zone Delta, 1945, and Airtie 1.3. Over here, for Delph. In many ways, the man of the hour, because his sets have been crazy. Him, Aggressor, Magenta Panda, quite honestly, the whole team's been playing on fire tonight. Delph with 3,500 flat, Aggressor with 2434, Magenta Panda 2261, Perma Blue 1447. So it goes on and on. And Fixer Reloaded, he's just taking the pain, as was his positional duty.
That worked out for him well. Ladies and gentlemen,
Great set.
as we said, that ends our third match of the night. The fourth and final match, Yo versus Rival, is coming right up.